Hello and welcome. Thank you for taking the time. Today I'm going to talk about something that has become the Achilles heel of this society and this political setup as well. I live in an apartment building where there are different people that have been living here for a long time. But recently, you must have heard about how the Syrian refugees were brought in and they were helped to settle in. So in my building, there were 3 or 4 families that came in with their children, and this was about 3 years back in the start of COVID, when the lockdown had already started and it was being implemented. And these families, they were basically accommodated in the apartments available in this building. These buildings have 2 and 1 and 3 bedroom apartments, so according to the size of their families, they were accommodated. Now, they knew nothing of English or French, and they had government appointed translators with them who completed the paperwork and the payments and everything, like their rent, how it would be taken care of. After some time, I started noticing something. Now, what I've noticed is that their kids and themselves, they were wearing designer shoes. Their women were carrying designer purses. One family has a Mercedes SUV. The other one has an Acura MDX, like the high-end SUV. Another family has the latest model of Honda Odyssey, like the most recent one. And all of them have one thing in common, that they have been seen wearing designer clothes and shoes. On top of this, I've never seen them work. Like whenever I am around, I see them going in and out of their apartments at odd hours, like no regular routine that I've noticed. So that means they're not working. And it's been over 3 years now. I'm talking about present. So how is everything being accommodated? This lavish lifestyle that they have become so used to. You must be aware of the letters that were leaked, and the Auditor General as well, when they said that each family not only gets a handout of up to $6,000, they'll also get their child benefit. They also get benefits for their health, and on top of it, they get extra for groceries and anything else, credit cards. Hence, they are each of these families based on their kids, which they have added now. Each of these families have had more kids during their stay here since they were young. And now they have more kids and their lifestyle has become more lavish. While in the same building, I have seen other people go jobless who are dependent upon EI, and that's a whole other topic of EI, how employment insurance, they are just finding ways to find any point where they can deny you employment insurance and not have to pay you. And people are struggling. So in the same building, these are the two opposite, that the Canadians are suffering while watching these people lead lavish styles without working. While your government, the Liberal government, ever since they came into power, the Canadian society has gone 180 degrees opposite. People have become more poor, jobs have become scarce, economy has been destroyed, the Canadian society has been destroyed, and on top of it, whoever speaks or talks, who they fear that this society, this city, or this region, people are there and they're talking and they hold the power that they can vote us out, they're being outnumbered. And how you're being outnumbered? By bringing in more immigrants, fast-tracking their citizenships, and by the time the next election comes, a majority of them would be in a position to vote for Liberals, because that's what they have spread as propaganda when they brought them in, that look, it was the Liberals who brought you in and united you with your families, and we are the ones who are welcoming you to Canada. But in welcoming you, we don't care if you find jobs, if you find shelter, if you find homes. That's not our responsibility. Our job was to get you here, get the money out of your pocket, fill the pockets of the corporations who are looking for cheap labor, fill in the pockets of the universities and colleges, the private companies that are looking for high-paying students, sorry, not cheap, high-paying students. And then once they graduate or in the process of graduating, tell them, yeah, your time's up. We've made enough money out of you. You can now go. So that we can bring in a fresh supply of cheap labor force. So this is what I don't understand. While your politician is regularly raising their own pays every year by passing their own resolutions and making bylaws that only benefits them, increases their pays, their benefits, their allowances, while the ordinary person is suffering right there in front of them. And yet they lie blatantly in your face. They are in a state of denial, or they just straight up tell you, you're lying. There's no such thing as inflation. Canadians are happy, Canadians are prosperous, and we are giving money back to everyone in form of carbon tax, which is another level of hoax and another level of white-collar robbery. But this is what's happening. Especially when you hear Chrystia Freeland talk, it literally gives you anxiety. It fills you up with rage. Like, which part of the world do these people live in, or which rock do they dwell under? How easily they're filling up their pockets in the name of different taxes, in the name of different handouts that they're sending across the border, or they're sending to other countries who are fighting wars that have nothing to do with us. Or we're helping immigrants come in, but at the same time the government is filling up their pockets because they're bringing in money. Not only that, they are desperate for work, so that's cheap foreign labor force. So all of this within one society, you see the people who were supposed to be just a responsibility, not something that you can actually feed off of. Because in the name of refugees, you are giving them handouts, but at the same time, there's no auditing of that. And there's no history of accountability, like where is all that money going? Same as with CERB. How many people, how many politicians benefited from it rather than the ordinary person? So I have a lot of questions, but I wanted to bring this to your attention. Like, this in no way is to belittle any of the people who have gotten here and are struggling to make both ends meet, whether you're a refugee, immigrant, or whether you're a Canadian citizen. The only thing, my question is, why? Why is this happening? If you agree and if you like what you see, don't forget to follow. Don't forget to visit my YouTube channel. Link is in bio. You will find a lot of other interesting videos based on conspiracy theories. But yes, this is what I feel, that all of this is being done deliberately to collapse the Canadian society. You let me know what you think. Till next time, take care. Bye for now.